Hello again, it's Noob, and here we have an Asa Abloy ZI Ikon or Ikon, I think it's German, lock, and I think it's the SK6 or SK7. The keyway definitely looks like it's one of those, although not quite, but Ikon, they mess around with their keyways and have all sorts of restricted versions and all sorts of other stuff. So very hard to tell. If you know better than I do, please let me know in the comments, because I'll correct the title of the video thereafter. But just look at that keyway. Just look at, I'll see if we get the light in there a bit more for you, just so you can see. But that is really gnarly. Now I've got a pick in, let's say 18 thousandths here. This is 18 thousandths of an inch, quite a thin one, and I can't get that down the keyway. I can do it at a slight angle, but I'll be picking up the warding, so I need to go thinner, down to 12 thousandths. Look how thin this is, and that can just about pick up through the warding of the lock, and even pick from the side like this all the way to the top. So yeah, 12 thousandths. In fact, isn't that hook? It's this one. Look how bendy that is. Isn't that cool? And that will be able to get down into the keyway, either picking up from the front like this, or again I can pop it in at an angle like that and pick up to the top. So from this warding shelf just there. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. First thing to do though is, before I try and find a vise somewhere, is to take off this assembly, which is going to be a real pain, because every time I do this I mess up the lock. But if we get a little screwdriver and pop that under this spring clip here, it's quite an interesting design. I'll get under it. Just get under there, and then you should be able to just gently tease it off. Don't bend it too much, because what will happen is that you'll bend it too far and it won't clip back on nicely. And once you've got that off, you should be able to, let's put this away, take this apart. It's like a little jigsaw. It's really cool. I love this design. So it sort of goes into halves like that, put it on, slide it through the lock like this, close it back up at the right position, which you've got to find, but you will find the right position. There you go. And then you can put the clip back on afterwards. Why are we doing this? Well, just help me to gut the lock once we've finished, I think, anyway. That looks like some kind of little cam selector. Let's pop the key in. Really nice bitting on this one as well. Look at that, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. Put that in and then have a look there, and yeah, so I think that is a little bit which goes, that bit there slides back and forth, and it's like a bit of a cam selector. So when it's here, it doesn't pick up the cam, and when you put the key in, it pushes it to this position here and does pick up the cam. Okay, so I've got to be careful to put my finger over this when I pull this out, otherwise it'll auto gut. Right, let me go find a vise, back in a sec. So we're in the vise. Very tricky little lock to pick. Here's my very flexible hook we're going to be using. Great tolerances inside this lock, not an easy one. Pop our top of the keyway turner there, bit of bent wiper blade, very light tension. And it's going to go in under some light tension, test the pin. So 1 isn't binding, 2 is binding, got a little click, and I think that's it for 2. Let me just check. Yeah. Let's try, pin 3, a little click on 3, into a bit of full set, nothing on 4, little click on 5, I can't feel anything on 6. Okay, so let's try again. 1, nothing. 2 feels fine. 3 feels good. 4, let's get down the keyway on 4. Can't feel anything. 5, we got the click out of earlier. 6, not there yet. Okay, so nothing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 6 binding? No. Down to the bottom. Oh, I dropped a pin somewhere. 1, 2, 3 feels okay. Could it be 4? Here's pin 4. No. Could have been pin 5 that I dropped. Feels okay. Pin 6 then. Is that binding? A little click on 2. 1's binding. Can't seem to get it. Is that 1 set now? 1. Yes, maybe. 2. 3 feels good. 4. Anything on 5? Nothing, but something dropped back down. Pin 6 now. Is that binding? Yes, got pin 6. Test 1, 2, 3. Can't feel anything on 4, 5. Might have dropped 6 again. 6 does feel like it's binding. 5 doesn't. 4 doesn't. 3, 2, 1's binding now. So click to the top. Again, 1 was binding but very, very loosely. So let's go back through and see what we find. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I think we are still trying to pick 6. Nothing on 5. 4 feels good. 3 little click. 2 nothing. 1 again. Let's try and get 1. Little click. Okay, so again back to the back. 6 is that set? Feels set. 5 feels set. 4 feels set. 3 little click. 2 little click. Is it pin 1 now again? Not yet, so go straight to the back. 6 isn't binding. 5 feels good. 4 feels fine. A little click on 3 again. Nothing on 2. Pin 1. So it really is a case of just jiggling these pins and seeing if anything gives you any more feedback. Hear that again? That's pin 3, 2, 1. So let's go from the bottom. Pin 1, nothing. Pin 2, little click. Pin 3, nothing. Pin 4, nothing. 5 and 6. Let's go to 6 again. A little click from 6. Back through. That was a really nice click from 6, which means pin 1's now binding, I think. Not yet. Oh, I feel we're so close. We've definitely set 6 now. 5, nothing. 4, 3. Oh, little click with 3. What was it? Ah, and then 1, and we are finally open. What a fun pick that was. So what we're going to do is hope that we can get this from the front. So turn that this way round. We're going to need a homemade thing to do this, which goes down here. And I hope that we can do this quite easily. Let's give this a go. So please work well. Ooh, yep. So that's a complicated little tail piece. Can I slide that off? No, I'll just keep it on. Put that there. Pop this in. There we got it. Okay, slide this out now. Get some tweezers, which I did have here. There we go. And we'll try to do it from the back. Little cam pieces floating around at the back as well. It's going to be a pain to put back together. Oh well. Okay, I can see the first pin, pin 6. I imagine it's all just spools. Oh, so 6 is a standard pin. And there's a spring there as well. Wants to pop up and say hello. Oh. Another standard pin. And I've got to get these springs out because I'll just trap them all in the keyway if I don't. Ah! Oh, a spool and a wafer. Come on, springs. There's one. I hate trying to get these springs out. It's nice when the springs... There we go, got it. So that's why we had... Oh, another spool. So a spool just drops on the floor. This one is a spool with 2 wafers, which is why it's so clicky. I see. And then the last one is standard pin. Right, okay, so that was a pretty poor gutting, if we had to be honest with ourselves. But we got there in the end. The putting back together on this is going to be horrific as well. Let me try and find that. Come here. I don't want to damage a spring. Come here. Got it. Right, spool's just by my feet. Got it. So all those click, click, clicks were actually, if I'd known, some of these little wafers here. So those are the driver pins. And then we'll just have a look at this. So there might be some wafers here as well. So this might be fully mastered. Yeah, I think it is. So this is part of a master key system, this one, which probably made it a little bit easier to pick. But yeah, that keyway isn't very pleasant, that's for sure. So you can see here that we have standard key pins, some in steel, some in brass. Then we got steel standard driver pin, spool pin, spool pin, spool pin, brass standard driver pins. So kind of a fun lock. Didn't realise I had so many master wafers in. I'm going to have to put this back together and figure out how I can dump out some of these if possible. If we don't need the master wafers, we'll take them out. But there you go. So that's a Zeiss Ikon SK6/7. Not really sure which one it is. Always a challenge, even with the master wafers in, because of that lack of feedback, that tight keyway, having to use springy tools to pick it. But nevertheless, a bit of a fun time if you're into that sort of thing. Anyway, if you like this video, leave a like. Have any comments, leave them below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do so, and I'll see you all next time.